effortless. I could pray for effortless. Telling my husband, okay, come over here so you can catch the baby. And then he's like, do I need to wash my hands? I'm saying, like, what brought the baby in will take the baby out.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and this is Nails with Ashley Mom Life series. So this video is about my supernatural home birth experience. This is my story about how I was able to have a home birth and how it was pain-free and effortless. So this is a pretty long video, so I'm going to put timestamps at the bottom. You can skip around. The first part is basically what I did that morning leading into birth, and then I go into telling my story, and then I do have a part where my midwife tells her point of view, so you can skip wherever you want. Pretty long video, like any other birth story is. There's a lot of details. So yeah, let's just get into it.
Good morning. I don't even know what today's date is. I think it's the 16th. I don't know. But my mucus plug came out, and then my water broke, and now I'm having low ripening feelings. And the girls are on my bed sleeping, so I'm gonna get my mom to remove them. And I'm gonna try and fold these clothes and those clothes and get ready for a baby and give birth today. I really feel like I have to poop. But I fixed my mattress. My mom came down and helped me. We put clean sheets, the waterproof cover, and then these sheets. These are old sheets. I took off the pillowcases, my white ones, because they need to be washed anyways, and put white garbage bags over these pillows and put old covers over the pillows. So that's what I did, and now my room is such a mess. I have to clean it. There's just clothes. I just gotta fold a lot of clothes. I'm having some low pressure still. I'm gonna go have a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to maybe make some eggs and toast. Something easy to digest.
Oh, my hands. It's gloves.
What? You don't want to wear gloves.
Yeah.
You don't want to just catch them with your hands? Do you want him to come today, or should he come tomorrow?
Today.
Today's a good day? Yeah. It is 8:02. My water is gushing out in the depends. We're gonna have a baby today.
Do you have the center bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the clamps and then the cord?
Does it say clamps? Is that what it wasn't on my list. I think she brings that. It's a beautiful day to have a baby. Hi, Penny. Effortless and pain-free. It does stop me when I'm walking. I'm having one right now.
Now you want to go back? You can't keep going in and out.
Tofu's good. week 3. So last week, Thursday, the morning of, okay, let's just like be super raw and real. The night before, Wednesday night, my husband and I were fighting. I'm not going to get into details about what, but it was not good. I'm sleeping. This is where I normally sleep, right here. And this is like how I get out of bed. I pull myself up on this. And anyways, I'm sleeping and I could feel like a gush. It wasn't my water, but it was definitely just like a gush. My midwife later on today said it wasn't my mucus plug, but it was stuff. I don't know. Anyways, but then that's when I knew. I was like, oh, today's the day. So I get out of bed, I grab a towel. I'm afraid my water is gonna break, and I just don't want to get it all over the place. So I stick the towel in between my legs. I like walk through my door with my legs together, and I'm like, Xavier, because he's sleeping on the couch. That's where he sleeps though. Like, he likes to sleep on the couch because the morning sun wakes him up, and it's like super dark in here and he can't get up. So I'd like wake up. I think I was telling him like my water is gonna break or my mucus plug is just whatever, and like this is the day. And so then I go to the bathroom, I clean up, and then I text my midwife. Here, she gave me notes from her point of view, but it's nice because she had everything timed. We done her at 4:41 a.m. She writes fluid mucus ? Put depends on. So I put the depends on because I didn't want like my water to break while I was walking around or whatever, and then just be like everywhere. So I did that, and there was no contractions or anything just yet. I guess I texted her an hour later and I said lots of gushing. Yeah, I was having like little spurts of like gushes of stuff coming out. And then it was definitely like my water. Yeah, like it was clear. It was just like gushing out little at a time. And then at that time I was like folding laundry. I think at first I went and I got my mom. We live in this like separated house. We have our own separated area, and we're separated by a door, a huge door. So I go up to my mom's side of the house, and I wake her up and I let her know like, hey, today's the day. And I think both my daughters were actually in my bed. Actually, they weren't in their beds. They were with me. Yeah. And so then I asked my mom, can you get the girls and put them in your room so I can just like start preparing. So she grabbed the girls and she helped me fix my mattress. We put like the waterproof cover over it, on it, and then put the sheet so it's still underneath here. And then I had like 3 huge loads of laundry that I was gonna get to, right, like that day. And then I was like, I cannot give birth with these 3 huge loads of laundry. So I just started folding laundry. And I guess Xavier woke up at one point and was helping me fold laundry and all this stuff. My mom made me some fried rice, which was super nice. And so I ate breakfast, so I was super hungry. And then I started, I guess I texted her, doing laundry. And then I got 0 activity. Like I didn't have like active labor contractions. Like there was nothing. It was just like super low feeling of pressure, like, but it's super light. It was like, oh, I feel something. She called it ripening. So she called it ripening. So you're just ripening. I guess it was just like my cervix starting to get thinner. That's what she said. Anyway, and then I guess I called her. I texted her and I was like, can I eat? So she told me yes, like easy to digest foods, protein. And then I was like, okay, so I ate fried rice. So with my husband, he finally woke up and started helping me fold laundry, but he was so grumpy. Like, oh my gosh. So grumpy because he came home at 1 a.m. Anyway, so he was just like not there. Like he was just like a zombie helping me fold laundry. And I'm over here, I'm anxious, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, cool, let's get this done so that we can have like a nice space to have the baby. And he just like wasn't even there. And then I kept like saying, are we okay? Like, I know we were fighting last night, but like I'm over it. You know, like I move on super fast. Like, it was stupid stuff. I pick and choose my battles, and I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my energy on this stupid argument. But he likes to hold on to it, and he likes to just stew on things. He does that. He likes to stew on things and just let it steal our joy in a way, you know? Anyway, so he pretty much told me he wasn't over it, and I'm like, well, this sucks, because I needed someone. I needed like a positive person. Like, I can't. This sucks, you know? So I'm upset now. Now I'm upset. And he's just being like, I just want a hug. I just wanted him to hug me and tell me like everything's gonna be good. Okay, you know, like this is gonna be a good day. But of course he couldn't do that. Like, it's just, it was so crappy that time of the day. So I'm just like, every time I go for a hug, he wasn't reciprocating it. He wasn't like showing me the affection that I needed. Like, the midwife was like, maybe go get some cuddles, because you want that oxytocin to be flowing to progress things. And I just wasn't getting that from him. Like, he was not loving towards me at all, and that really sucked. So I kind of just like gave up on finding that from him. And then this is like where real testimony starts to come in, where it's like he went out, and the day before I was pressure washing the outside of my hallway, and then halfway it ran out of gas. So I guess he got the gas and he started finishing up what I couldn't do the day before. So he was pressure washing outside while I'm upset in my room. And it was loud and annoying. So I shut my door, I put on praise and worship music, and I blasted it, and I'm just bawling. I am crying because I'm just like super hurt. Like, this really sucks. And my mom took the girls, and she like came in because she's like, I need diapers, because I cloth diaper and all my diapers are here. And I'm like, okay. And my mom's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no. And it just sucks when your mom has to watch you just kind of like not enjoy this time. But she's like, do you need anything? And I'm like, I just need to be with God right now. I'm just like, I just need to be with my Father right now, and it's okay. Like, I was so emotional, I guess, but it's just, I'm giving birth, I don't know. So she gave me a hug, and then she left me alone, and my lights were off. These lights were on. I can turn these lights into colored lights. It's like, it's pretty cool. I just like set the mood. I set the mood, and then I blasted worship music. Just drowned everything else out. And I just was praying. And I'm on my bed here. I'm just like kind of like leaning on it with my face in the bed, crying. I'm just crying, and I'm just praying that like, God, fix this, help me, like I need you. And I kept saying like, I'm done putting my expectations in my husband, and I just leaned into God more. it was like, I can't remember what the verse was, but like, you don't put expectations in man, and you put them in God, because man will always fail you, but God never will, right? So I just kept like meditating on that scripture that I couldn't remember word, and I wasn't gonna look it up, but I just knew that that's what it was. Anyways, so doing that really was like it was like a test, right? Like, I felt like God was saying, okay, you're believing for this pain-free, quick birth. Can you even trust me first with this? You know, like, can you just let go of all of that and just trust me here first? Like, if you can trust me here first, you know, then you can fully trust me here too. Like, you know, I was kind of like that. Like, I can't explain it. I'm sure someone else, you know what I'm saying, but after giving it to God and letting him, like, just kind of lift all that anxiety and all of that worry, it felt like it was lifted. Like, I felt so much better after that, you know, and just praying to be filled with the Holy Spirit. And it was just like, okay, reset, you know, like, focused back on God. And my focus is, after that, I got back up, and then I was cold because my AC is blasting. I'm just like blasting my AC. So now I'm cold, and I think Xavier's done outside because it's quieter, and he's just like putting things away or whatever. And I make myself some water, and I go step outside into my parents' side in the yard on our deck, and I'm just like, I need to be in the sun. So it's just in the sun, sunbathing a little bit. It felt nice and warm, and I'm just like feeling better. And then I started feeling like more low pressure, like just low pressure while I'm standing out there. And I'm like, okay, this is good. This doesn't hurt. This doesn't feel like contractions. It feels just like low pressure. And then, yeah, so after that, I came into my room, and then I just laid down. When I was still playing worship music, it's dark in here, it's nice, it's cool, and I'm just laying down, closing my eyes, and just like praying still. Well, in that time, I started listening to just like birth affirmations, but scriptures. So, this one where I was listening to on YouTube, it was like, she was saying, right, pain-free birth, baby's in perfect position, my body does what it's made to do, baby comes out in like, you know, 1 to 2 pushes, like everything I'm praying for. And then she said on the video, effortless. And I was like, effortless? I could pray for effortless? Like, I could pray for pain-free, right? And then I was like, effortless. And that word just kind of really stuck to me. Sorry. Yes. That word effortless stuck to me. So I kept repeating in my prayers, pain-free, effortless birth. And she planned to come around noon. So she said, here at 12 o'clock, Ashley is standing by the bed, leaning onto bed, because I was laying in bed, and then I started getting some like actual light contractions, and laying in bed, I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like having this, you know, pressure, and then me just laying here. It was uncomfortable. And I liked it better when I was standing. Like, it was more like, okay, I can, you know, shake it off and stand and do like, you know, wave it off or whatever. But it, like I said, it wasn't painful. It was pressure. And I think she sent Xavier in the room. She sent Xavier in the room to lay down with me, because she kept saying, like, what brought the baby in will take the baby out. So oxytocins, right? So she told Xavier to come in the room and lay with me. And he just came in the room. He was quiet, and then he just like was rubbing my feet, which was nice. And we never really spoke about anything. Like we just, I think he needed to go outside and just get out of his head and go work and do something, you know. And I think he needed to wake up. And he was just, I think he was really tired and grumpy because he was just, he can't snap out of it. I don't know. But after pressure washing, like his attitude was a little bit better, and I think he realized, like, okay, we're gonna give birth at home. So he was like squeezing my feet, which was really nice. And then I remember laying down, right, and then I was like having like a little bit of pressure, not the ripening, but more like, okay, it's getting like a little bit stronger, and I don't like laying down in bed and having them. So I got out of bed and I came outside, and she was at my table preparing everything. And I was like, I'm hungry. Like, I need food. Like, I need a snack. So I made a snack. I made pretzels with cream cheese and pesto on top with some pepper jelly on the side. And that was super nice. Salty, light snack. Kept drinking water. We were talking a little bit on the couch. And then I started just like breathing through it, because now it's getting a little bit more stronger. I was having actual contractions now where it would come and I would just breathe through them, you know, bearable. Like, this is, I just have to stop and breathe and then continue. So at 1:50 p.m. I went back in the bedroom. I'm on my knees. I have this stool here so that I can, because my bed is really high, and I'm on my knees. She writes here, I wanted to rest my legs because I started getting tired from standing, but I don't want to lay down. And so then we talked about getting those yoga balls, and I was going to go get one, but obviously I didn't have time. And so from my progression, like, we thought we had time, so we send out my husband to Target to go get a yoga ball and newborn diapers, because we forgot the newborn diapers. So anyways, so he leaves at 1:50, she writes here. And in between that time, I'm still here, low breathing, rocking, worship music's going, lights are dim. She's just been with me that whole time, you know, putting the heat pad on my back, which was super, it was really nice. I wasn't in pain, definitely was bearable. Like, it's just uncomfortable pressure that just stops you in your tracks and you have to breathe. Ashley's still breathing softly, focuses. Xavier's blowing up the ball at like 2:10 what she's writing. Yeah, so I remember hearing Xavier come through the door, put his keys down. Then she leaves and goes out to meet him, because I'm just chilling here, still breathing. And she leaves to go meet him.
Editing Ashley here. So also, she said she wouldn't have left the room if she knew I was about to go into active labor. She said, because I didn't seem like a woman in pain, were her words, the following day. It was why she left the room. Just wanted to add that in there.
They're blowing up the ball. I can hear it. Xavier comes inside. She's still out there. He comes inside and brings me the ball, puts it behind me, and he's like, here, would you like to sit down? So I'm having a contraction when he's asking me, and I'm breathing through it, and then when it stops, I sit on the ball one time. Sit on the ball one time, and then I feel it coming again, so I stand back up, and then I'm going, and then I make this sound that I know I make when I'm giving birth, because I did it with Penny, and it's like this low moaning sound. And I was like, whoa, that one was
bigger. Like that was a big one. That was a contract. Like that was my active contraction. Is what we would say, right? Yeah. So it says here, Ashley makes a soft moan. Is what she heard from outside. So she comes back inside, and I'm standing up. Xavier and her are like, "How are you doing?" And I look at her because it was so big. It really took me off guard. Like it just like from soft contractions, easy breathable contractions to this one huge one. It did scare me, and that's the second like fear came in, and I forgot to breathe. And I looked at her and I was like, I feel lightheaded. I feel faint. Like, because I've fainted before and I know what it feels like. And I just was like, I feel lightheaded. And then she said, okay, Ashley, if you faint, we can't have a baby at home. So I was like, no. And she said, so just go like this. And then low breaths. So I kept doing that. I was like staring at her in the face, like, oh, not that fast, but like slow, like, and so she's like, okay, oh, sorry. So I got my breathing back under control, and I was like, okay, cool, like this is it, you know, like I'm breathing, I got it back. It's just, she wrote it down. Like she comes back and writes it down later. Ashley says feels faint. She put ball not working. Breathe into hands. Sorry. Breathe into hands to return CO2. Revives. Because I was like, I forgot to breathe. So she helped me breathe again. And after that, I'm not even going to look at that. She said it here, that the faint part, she writes 225. So 2:10 Xavier comes home. In between 2:10 and 2:25, I have my first real active contraction. She writes here at 2:38, which was just right after I started breathing into my hands, when I was like, I had another good contraction, and I had another low moan, and I was like, the baby's coming. Like I could feel it coming out, and I was standing over here. I was standing, holding onto the bed, or kind of like breathing over it or whatever. And I remember having that was the second contraction that was huge. And then I like, after I said the baby's coming, I dropped to my knees. I dropped to the ground. Like my knees just buckled because it was coming out of me already. And after that contraction, I was saying, Lord Jesus, I need you. You need to help me. I remember. I was like, Jesus, I need you. And then my midwife was like, he's going to help you. And I was like, the baby's coming out right now. And then she's like, right now? And I was like, right now. So Xavier's there, and she's like, catch her. Because they wanted me to just lay down already. And because my legs were done. I can't give birth standing up. I don't know how women do it. But I can't. Because it happened with my second, where it was coming out, and I just dropped. So they laid me down on the ground. Xavier grabbed as much pillows and put it underneath me, and like my head is up against my wall. I'll show you guys after. My legs are up on top of the bed, and she's kind of like in between me, in between my legs, with my legs on the bunk bed. She said, I said, I feel like I have to push, is what I said. I feel like I have to push. And she said, no, don't push. And as soon as she said that, the word effortless came into my head. And I was like, God, you said effortless, like effortless. And so then I did nothing. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do anything. So I just laid there. I remember just laying there, and the baby just slid out. I remember laying there, hearing the word effortless, and then the contractions did all the work. And I know, like, I can't even explain how easy it was, and there was no pain. And I prayed for no pain and no ring of fire, and there was no ring of fire. I just let the contractions do all the work, and it did, and it was amazing. She literally said that she just slid out. Like, so I remember she was saying, while I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything, she was telling my husband, okay, come over here so you can catch the baby. And then he's like, do I need to wash my hands? And then the midwife was like, there's no time, you have to come here now. And so he like jumped over me and got in between my legs, and the midwife was like, he was like this. And she's like, it was so cute, he put his hands together like this. And so I was like, I wouldn't even know, like, how do you get ready to catch? I guess I would have been like this, you know, like, I don't think I would be like this. I don't know, it's funny. But he told me that she was super slippery. The midwife told me that there was a little bit of blood clot, so she wiped it away, and that she started just sliding out, and he was like holding her, and then she checked her neck for the cord, and there was a cord, and she just pulled it over her head, and then she just slid right on out. And he was like, oh, she's slippery, you know. But from my perspective, from my point of view, I think it was amazing. I just laid there. I didn't do anything, and it was effortless for me. It was awesome. Like, I can't even describe. I think just that one moment of the big push, or the second big contraction, was that one moment of fear that you can't, man, I keep hearing it, like, I really thought I wasn't gonna let fear in, but when you're in it, you know, it's just like, but then that's when you rely on Jesus the most, right? It's like, don't let fear in, but even when you're just uncertain, you're still like, Jesus, you know, still calling out. And that was I still relied on him, and I still trusted him. You know, I just needed to be like, Jesus, I need you, and I know I need you. Cool. After that, so the baby was, so she was writing here, she's trying to get like her stages right? Like, later on we were trying to figure it out, talk about the times. So she writes here, stage 1, active. So this is active. She's stage 1 from active labor, 2:10 to 2:38 is my active labor. Stage 2 from 2:38 to 2:44 was the actual delivery process, right? Stage 3 is birthing the placenta, and that's from 2:44 to 3:10. So from stage 1, active labor was 28 minutes. Pushing, effortless birth, 6 minutes. And then actual placenta birth is 26 minutes. My total time of birth is 1 hour. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty amazing. From the time ruptured membranes, she's writing here, it was at 4:40 a.m. More like 4:30, but I think. To the time of the delivery is 10 hours, is what she wrote. That was the testimony
that I wanted. I prayed for a fast labor. I wanted fast labor. I wanted a fast delivery where it was pain-free, effortless, and like I kept saying 1 to 2 pushes, and it was 1 to 2. It was 2 full. So 1 contraction that started the active labor, 2nd contraction that started my crowning, 1 contraction to slide out the head, and then I remember I waited a little bit, and then the 2nd contraction to get the rest of her out. So from when I was on the ground, technically 1 to 2 pushes, 1 to 2 contractions. Yeah, that was awesome. After that, she put me on. We put her on my chest, and I tried to start breastfeeding her, right, because it helps the placenta and contracting and getting it out. She said the only time that I actually did push was trying to get the placenta out, and that was the whole thing. But just like the way that my midwife was like moving, she had an oxygen tube. She was just like lightly blowing oxygen into her nose, like around her face, and just checking her and all this stuff, and it was so amazing to watch her work. Midwives, is worth more than I paid, for sure. She did such an amazing job, and so did my husband. He never would have been that involved in a hospital if we, if we were at a hospital. He would never have had the chance to be so hands-on and be so involved. And I love that so much. Because in the hospital, it's just like, why are you here? It's like, it's crazy how uninvolved and unimportant our husbands are, our partners are in the hospital, where it's like when we're at home, they're so involved and just so, it really became like a we did this together kind of thing, and that was awesome, and I love that. And I don't think I'll ever give birth in a hospital ever again. No. But yeah, that was my birth story. And now it's just postpartum.
This person here on day 1, but sometimes day 1 is too busy, like it was. So it's day 3, and I've done the notes as best as I can. So, and you might recall I knew this, but also if you have thoughts and changes that are different, just let me know. This is my recounting.
Right.
4:41, you call and say there's lots of fluid. Is it mucus? It's clear. You put your Depends on. You call back a bit later. It's definitely spontaneous rupture of membranes. Lots of gushing. Folding laundry now. No uterine activity. Plan. Call when anything changes. Call with questions. Anticipate labor. Okay.
Yeah.
6:03, you call. Can I eat? Yes. Easy digest. I didn't hear from you. I call you at 7:44. Any uterine activity? No, just pressure. So at 7:44, you're not in labor, so you need that.
Right.
8 fried rice. Recommend move around a bit, take a shower, call in an hour. So hydrate and void frequently.
What is void?
Void is feed.
Oh, yeah.
Use clinical terms sometimes. At 9 o'clock, you call. Same. Not progressing, those were your words, and whenever there's a quote, it's your words. Not progressing, I think it's because I'm folding laundry, and when I'm finished, I thought that was going to change it. So I say, okay, call in an hour. 10:20, I call you. You're feeling low pressure with sensations coming, but low. So you know it's just ripening, it's not active labor. Irregular. That was cut off in the Xerox thing, it looks like. Irregular, you just want to relax. You're in the bedroom with AC on, dim lights, and breathing slow, deep, eyes closed. And I say, okay, I'm going to arrive by noon. Okay. So that's early knowing, but it's not active active delivery that where you're every 5 minutes, 60 seconds.
Right.
You never went there. You made the leap. You leaped right over it all. Like a camera shutter.
Yeah.
Thank you, body.
Yeah.
And all the powers that be. So I arrived at 12. You're standing by the bed, leaning onto it. You like the heating pad. You like pressure on your sacrum. You said, I'm too sore to climb in bed and lie down now. So you like the standing for a while. It's slow, soft breathing. You had your eyes closed. At 1:45, you come out here. You lean against there and you go, I'm hungry. Right? And you had cream cheese and pesto and pretzels. And the girls were about ready to head up for their snack to Nana's because they're kind of, you want to clear things so you can get going, right? Clear the space.
Right.
So that's at 1:45. You see, you feel the sensation slowly rising up to the umbilicus is the belly button, the pico, slowly rising up. Remember, when it's up there, you're starting to get active, but it's not 5 minutes and 60 seconds long. You were still
Yeah, it felt irregular.
very irregular because I think you went from irregular to. That's what you did. Because look, at about, okay, so 30 seconds of the baby was active. So at 1:50, you're in the bedroom on your knees, rocking your pelvis, you're breathing soft, and you want to rest your legs, and we thought about the ball. So Xavier heads off to Target to get the ball. I remember this time. This time is a question mark, and this time is a question mark, but I remember this time exactly because I looked at it, and it's 2:10, and he got back. And you are still in this.
Yeah, like irregular.
We feel like you're just getting going.
Yeah, right.
And so you're breathing softly, you're focusing inward, Xavier's blowing up the ball, then there's a soft moan from Ashley. I go in there, and so what's happened between 2:10 and 25 is you're just going like this, and you say you feel faint because you had your eyes closed, you're breathing, and for whatever reason,
I think I had like
you
that
weren't
one
taking enough
moan.
oxygen in.
Yeah, and then I think I got like,
Faint.
yeah.
You forgot to
I think I
breathe.
forgot to breathe. That's
You
because it was like
forgot
a
to
bigger
Right.
one, and then I was like, oh,
Right.
yeah.
That's exactly. It's so nice to remember this while it's fresh because it'll fade in your memory. Good to keep this record.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then you had to get your breath back. You had to stop blowing off all the CO2. You had to like get that back, and then you felt fine.
Yeah.
But you did not. There was no sitting down for you. No getting up in the bed. No nothing. And so you revived, and so by 2:38 you had a big contraction, and you say, the baby's coming, I gotta lie down. Here and now. So Xavier and I helped you get to the floor, and indeed, the head is crying for it. Xavier runs out against the silver bowl that I had right there. Who knows, I would need it in that, I thought we were going into, she's going into active labor.
I was wondering, I was
The
like,
baby's
how often
coming.
do people go in their bed,
At the end, they usually do, but I'm telling you, it all came upon you like
Yes, it was super fast.
a wrecking ball. It came in
Well,
like that.
I've seen videos where moms, they birth their babies standing up, and I just like, I can't do
Oh
that.
God, no! She would have fallen out on the floor.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, I was like, my legs
No.
just buckle. Like,
Yeah.
even with
Yeah.
Penny, my legs go weak and I
Most
just
people
drop.
lay down in the very last minute,
Yeah.
and in your space there was no place to lay down but the floor. It's not a baby. You're not the first person to have the baby on the floor. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
I figured.
I've had to pull people off the toilet and lay down on the bathroom floor so they don't birth in the toilet. I don't want to fish the baby out of
And
there.
the toilet, yeah.
Yeah, no, fun. So anyway, that was okay. So from 2:38, so let's say, 2 or 3 minutes to that. When you got down, the baby is crying. He runs against the wall. He comes like blah 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 blah. He was so cute because he puts his hands like this, like receiving, and
I don't know.
and there was this big blood clot sort of in front of the head, so you couldn't really see there was a baby head with hair. So I kind of tried to wipe it away, but she is barreling on down.
Yeah.
So I put his hand right there to support the perineum. I held my hand on his hand. Then we see her neck emerge. Then I check with cord. There is the cord. Reduce the cord. Take it up like that. And she's still coming all the way.
It felt like she was just sliding
She just kept on coming. And he's like this. And he said afterwards, she's really slippery. But it's like, okay, right up here, and then as soon as the baby goes up there, you're like, well, what is it? Well, what is
I
it?
know.
So that's the notes for what they are, and This is her emergence time. I know this one's for real because
Mm-hmm.
I've automatically done
Yeah,
that one, right?
yeah.
So that's that. And the clinical side of things, this is dilation, zhip. This is descent, zhip.
Uh-huh.
And you're under 3 hours. So here's
Oh,
how it
I
works
see how
down.
you did that.
From 12 noon, which is when I came, and that's not active labor, that's early labor. I'm going to say that active labor was,
Like a half an hour.
well, look, it's not, at 150, you're 8 to 10 minutes apart and 30 seconds long. So when is active labor? 2 o'clock? Just when he's coming back? 2:10?
I feel like as soon as I heard him outside,
2:15?
like I
10?
could hear you guys
Yeah, we're blowing
pumping
up
the
the
ball.
ball.
And that's probably when it started.
That's when your body had permission. He's back.
Maybe, yeah.
It's
probably.
going.
Yeah.
I can't stop the river.
Yeah. I think so.
So 2:10. Well, it's going to make you even less than.
Yeah, because I remember clearly hearing him come through the door and
Yeah.
then putting his keys down. And then I think like when you stepped outside and once you started blowing up the ball was when I was like, okay, it's getting a little bit stronger. But I'm in there thinking, all right, we're going to do this for a while, right? I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going to go through these stronger contractions for a little bit longer.
That would be the normal pattern. But not
Which is
yet.
probably why I didn't say anything, or
Who knows?
I don't know.
But we just say yes. This is what you did. You knew for however many times that you decided to have a midwife that you were going to do this your way. You weren't going to have interventions. You were going to sacrifice anything you do. You're completely healthy. You're completely prepared. When the ball starts rolling, there's nothing to hold you back. And you had an amazing birth.
yeah.
So instead of early is at noon, but really, you weren't active until 2:10. So if we say from 2:10 to 2:38, that's not 2 hours and 38 minutes. That's 28 minutes.
I was going to say like a half an hour.
It's 28 minutes. So we're going
Is that
from active.
like dangerous or?
Oh no, not at all. It's a blessing.
Yeah. I was gonna
Like
do
I
it for a
said,
long time.
hey, if your waters hadn't broken first, she would have come out in the bag. But it's interesting, your waters break every time.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. So I'm like, okay, so this is the third time. So this is
Who
how it
you
is
are.
for me. Yeah.
But you've also had interesting 36 week, 40 week, 38 week.
Mm-hmm.
This is 38.5, so it's almost 39. But anyway.
Hey, so thanks for watching my supernatural home birth story. I hope that this video was encouraging to you if you do plan on having a home birth or a supernatural one at that. Yeah, just any questions or any more insight, just go ahead and leave a comment below. Like if this video was helpful in any way or was encouraging. And then, yeah, if you guys watched this entire video, thank you. I know this was a long one, which is why I wanted the timestamps because this was a pretty long story, like any birth story is. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.